Hello everyone, Ben here, and welcome back to a prediction. Not really just a prediction, but we're going to be talking a little bit about the 2020 Democrat primary. And I've got in a separate tab on a separate window the total delegate count. In terms of pledged delegates, Democrats have 4,051. I'm too lazy to do the math because also super delegates are involved, which are unpledged delegates who can go with whoever they want. And yeah, this could get crazy. I can only put 6 candidates up here. Actually, technically 7. So yeah, the undecided I'll go ahead and list as Tim Kaine. Just anything that I leave undecided will be Tim Kaine. And how many super delegates do the Dems have? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, they make up 15% of all delegates. So I just need to multiply. Yeah, okay. Not even going to bother with it. So we've got the candidates that I think will actually make it to the Iowa caucuses and actually, be semi-competitive there. Have polling numbers about 5%. Are Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, John Bel Edwards of Louisiana. That's actually pretty coincidental. Mark Cuban, I actually think he's going to run. Cory Booker from New Jersey, and Kamala Harris from California. I've listed Cuban as from Texas because I couldn't find anything, but I've got a gigantic sheet here with candidates that I think could run or have been mentioned enough seriously or have a history that would make them, at least runnable. Okay? Starting with is, even though I don't think she's going to run, Hillary Clinton. We already have a declared candidate in John Delaney, a Democrat from Maryland. He's a representative there. Of course, Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts, Joe Biden of Delaware, Dwayne Johnson, who's an actor from California. I list him as currently an independent. Then we've got Kanye West, musician from California. His party is question mark because no one actually seems to know. Sherrod Brown from Ohio, senator. Kamala Harris from California, senator. Governor of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards. Terry McAuliffe, in 2020 is going to be former governor. Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. John Hickenlooper, former governor of Colorado. John Tester, senator from Montana. Bernie Sanders, independent from Vermont, senator. Debbie Stabenow, Democrat from Michigan, senator there as well. Tammy Baldwin, senator from Wisconsin. Al Franken, senator from Minnesota. Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York. Martin O'Malley, I think at this point he's going to be former governor of Maryland, if he's not already. Bill de Blasio, mayor of New York City. Cory Booker, senator of New Jersey. Chelsea Clinton, Democrat in New York. Currently, she's actually a corporate executive. Mark Cuban, also a corporate exec. I have him listed as an independent from Texas, as a lot of his policies indicate that he's right down the middle. He's a little more conservative economically, socially, he just doesn't give two craps. Julian Castro, Democrat from Texas, former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Joe Manchin, Senator from West Virginia, ever popular Senator from West Virginia, I feel like adding. Russ Feingold, former Senator of Wisconsin. And John Kerry, former Secretary of State and also another former presidential candidate from the Democrats. I could have also added, people like Al Gore, Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey. I just don't think they're going to run. I list John Kerry because he's actually a little bit closer to running than I think any of those three. Mark Zuckerberg is somebody else I didn't add. I don't know how many I listed, but I listed way too many for this to be a good thing. Okay? There is good and bad in running a lot of candidates. The good is that you're probably going to get the best candidate is going to rise to the top. But once you're over 20, that's a bad thing. It shows you have no direction. And the fact that we're seriously taking independence from, the far left and almost into Republican territory that could run as Democrats shows that the Democrats don't really have direction. But anyway, I'm going to leave no undecideds. Ignore the electoral vote numbers. These don't really matter with the number of people. And plus the delegate counts are really wacky. And I'm going to start filling in states in their primary order. And I'm going to move California where it will be in 2020. 2020 primaries. Okay. Looking for this. I mean, also apparently Mark Cuban, Dwayne Johnson, and Carly Fiorina are listed as potential Republican candidates as well as Democrat ones. Yeah. Okay, I'm still looking for. Okay, let's see. There we go. This may help. That doesn't help. Sorry about this. And also, I'm not including the territories in this, not because I don't want to, but because it's a little screwy. There we go. Primary process. There we go. Okay, so the first one is the Iowa caucus, and I think Biden will squeak out the victory there. I think John Bel Edwards, Elizabeth Warren are going to get votes, and maybe Kamala Harris. But here's the reason why I think Biden's going to do it. I think Booker is too establishment for Iowa. I think everybody but Booker will get delegates from Iowa. Harris and Warren they play to the same crowd, I think, being the progressives of the group. Biden and John Bel Edwards are kind of gonna, because they're a little bit more conservative, but Edwards is definitely going to pick up the more evangelical vote that's closer to the people of Missouri, in terms of culture, that are closer to the people of, the Midwest, Missouri, and the South, that type of culture. And Biden's going to pick up a lot of, just because he has a lot of Midwest appeal, in my opinion. Then we move on to New Hampshire, where I think this is Warren's state to lose, just because she's from neighboring, neighboring Massachusetts. The next one is actually going to be California, and that is pretty easy to say that is Harris's vote to lose. She's probably going to win a majority of the delegates, and the rest of the candidates will split them. I think every candidate will get votes from California. Nevada is a tough state to call, and it's going to be fairly evenly split. I'm going to give it to Warren for the primary, but everybody's going to get delegates. Then we go to South Carolina, and John Bel Edwards will probably win every county. Not just every county, but it'll be pretty brutal. So now we move on to Super Tuesday, and this is going to be the last day, and I think all of them are going to be, waiting till Super Tuesday. Okay, 2016. Okay, Super Tuesday states and territories. Okay, cool. Again, I'm not going to cover the territories because I don't think those will be critical to the primary. If they are, well, I just don't have the tools to mark out who's going to win which one. So the Democrats have Massachusetts and Vermont, which will, wrong one. Goodness gracious, I'm sorry about that. Massachusetts and Vermont, which I think will both go to Elizabeth Warren. Minnesota, that's a tough one. I think that one will go to Biden. But then you have a lot of southern states. You have Oklahoma, and these will all go to Bel Edwards. Arkansas, Tennessee. Well, it won't all go to Edwards. He's going to get the majority of votes from Virginia. Georgia and Alabama, he could easily win every single county in these states. And, he's going to have a really good outing. Colorado is a little bit different. I'm going to say they go for Warren. And at this point, I think Cuban, Booker, and Harris will drop out. Just because I think Warren is more prominent of the two progressives in this group, being Harris and Warren. And Warren's going to be picking up, everybody I think will pick up at least one delegate, but I think at this point, Cuban and Booker would drop out, and, their delegates would go to probably whoever won the state that they originated from, or who would go to who they endorse. Cuban would probably endorse Biden. Booker would probably endorse Warren. Edwards would just be running on his own strength. Harris would probably endorse Warren as well. But I'm going to assume that none of that all the delegates stay with who they want, even though that's not true, and that many of them would go be released from voting for who they were originally pledged to if the candidate drops out. Okay, now moving on. Moving on to, okay. So I guess we have to go to, okay, so the next section is Super Saturday. And Louisiana, Nebraska, and Kansas are the ones for the Democrats. And Louisiana, John Bel Edwards could probably win his home state with 90-10 margins, where 90% goes to him, 10% to everyone else. He could easily win that amongst Democrats. I think I'm also going to give him Kansas, but I'll give Biden Nebraska. Because Biden does have some appeal in this area as well, but it's going to be kind of a little bit of a checkerboard. But, Edwards with the, strategy of Southern votes and just picking off, little tidbits here and there in other areas could easily win the primary. I'm not sure. We'll see where it is. The second Super Tuesday, Missouri, I think that's a John Bel Edwards state. Illinois, oh, this is a tough one. Goes more establishment, if I remember correctly. They did vote for Clinton in the Dem primary. We're going to give it to Biden. Ohio. We'll give it to Biden, but it's going to be everybody remaining is still going to be decent, right? North Carolina, that is a John Bel Edwards state. And Florida, that's a tough one. Want to give it to Biden. Texas. Oops, I forgot Texas. I think John Bel Edwards is going to win the state, but a lot of other candidates are going to pick up delegates here. Sorry about that. I almost completely forgot about Texas was voting. Okay. And then I guess in the northeastern primaries, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island. So Connecticut and Rhode Island, those go to Warren. Maryland, that's a tough one. I'm going to give Maryland to Biden. Pennsylvania is a Biden state. And Delaware also goes to Biden. So Biden is competing. Warren is kind of lagging behind. I think at this point, Warren would release her delegates to whoever won their state, if they're still in, Then another Super Tuesday. Okay. Montana. I'm going to give that one to John Bel Edwards. New Jersey, if Booker was still in, that would go to, but we're going to give that one to Biden, because I'm assuming that Biden and John Bel Edwards are the only two candidates left at this stage. New Mexico, I'm going to give that one to Biden. There we go. South Dakota is John Bel Edwards territory, I think. It's a little more conservative. And North Dakota is also John Bel Edwards territory. Okay. Okay. And I'm looking for the next schedule. That doesn't help. Okay, this may give me the timeline. Okay, the early primaries. Super Tuesday. Okay, so Alaska and Arizona, I'm going to go ahead and give those to John Bel Edwards. Now, if you're wondering, this looks like John Bel Edwards is winning Republican areas. That may appeal to some Democrats who want to try and, flip that. Hawaii, we're going to give that one to Biden. Idaho, I'll also give that, this is a tough one. I'm going to give it to John Bel Edwards. Utah, John Bel Edwards. Wyoming, John Bel Edwards. Washington, that's Biden. Wisconsin, that's Biden. Okay, then we've got the New York, that's Biden. Okay, weird, I think I may have missed one or two. Anyway, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island. Indiana, that would be Biden. West Virginia and Kentucky, both of those are places where John Bel Edwards would do extremely well. And Oregon, that's Biden. Okay, California moved up. I've already covered Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico. North the Dakotas, District of Columbia, that's Biden. All the way. Don't know where Mississippi. Well, regardless, wherever Mississippi happens, Bel Edwards is going to win that. Michigan and I think Maine would probably go actually to Bel Edwards. Now, from just this, it looks like Biden has more delegates, but I think Bel Edwards is going to pick up a decent amount of delegates that are left over. That his lead in a lot of places, his lead that he got on Super Tuesday, which is going to make him immediately more electable. Again, I think Nebraska could go either way with these candidates because it's weird, but I'm going to go ahead and give Nebraska to John Bel Edwards just on, I'll flip it because I think it's more realistic that Bel Edwards wins Nebraska. But if you're curious that why does John Bel Edwards' map look like a Republican map? Well, that's kind of because it does. And I'm having a tough time. I think the nominee could, at least at this stage, based off of who I think is going to run, I think the nominee is going to be either Biden or John Bel Edwards, both of whom I think are very capable candidates, and both of whom I think are candidates the Democrats should be looking to run anyway. I think they're the right type of appeal. I really do. It's just, I really do think that those are the candidates that I think could flip Republican-leaning areas or places that voted GOP in 2016 that hadn't. I'm not so sure about John Bell Edwards. I may do an election night with him, of him. And I'm probably going to do an election prediction for Biden. I'm going to say that Biden gets the nomination simply on the basis of that he's going to get more super delegates than John Bell Edwards. So I'm going to say Biden wins the nomination. John Bell Edwards comes in second. He would be a very good VP nomination, by the way. But then again, that would throw the that would throw the progressives under the bus, and they might actually stage a riot and leave. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time, probably for election predictions and stuff, probably on Monday with Biden versus Trump, and then I'm going to probably next Friday do an election night for Warren versus Trump due to popular demand. I'm never going to do an election night for Hillary versus Trump because that's not going to happen. Quit trying to make it happen. It's not going to happen. By the way, in 3.5 years, if it does happen, I'm prepared to have an egg on my face. Like, I'm prepared. And then at some point, I'm probably going to do a John Bell Edwards election night, okay? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.